Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU and welcome back to Endless Space Multiple Personalities Madness. Now I may sound like I'm all manly and stuff, but in all actuality I have a pounding headache, like ridiculously powerful headache that I'm not quite sure how to handle, so I thought, well, recording a video might be one of the ways, since when you talk you forget about your headache. At least let's pretend that is how it works. It's not, but whatever. Anyway, I'll still do my best to show you the best quality entertainment in all the internets. Right, sure. You can tell that I've got a headache because I'm talking nonsense. Anyway, first things first, galactic event, yes we know about it. Bugs everywhere. Plenty of bugs killing and eating my population. Sciencey stuff, well I am gonna get advanced thingies and then I'm gonna get other thingies. So far so good, I'll trust my old self with that. What I will not however trust my old self with are the system improvements, which I have plenty of, plenty to build rather. Because yeah, I actually do now have access to redundant infrastructures, which is pretty important to have, and as you can see, it doesn't even cost all that much. That's 500 industry. On a system as good as Mary, that's nothing. Anyway, this fleet, it only takes one more crossbeat, right? I did not miscalculate anything? No. Alrighty then. In this case, wow, it really hurts. In this case, let's disband this fleet and go ahead and finish off what I've been doing over here. Do I need to create anything else in this system? Well, what I could do is increase the influence of Mary, so I take control over Hamal with my influence, perhaps. Hamal does have a bit of its own influence, but I think I'll be able to take it over with my influence, which will make fighting much easier for me. So let's go ahead and do that, I guess. We'll start the production of this and then I'll resume making some proper ships, which is rather important. By the way, I forgot completely, man, this headache does make things difficult. What is going to be our theme for today? And that is what Sander Riedveld. Alright, that's how I'm gonna call you, Sander Riedveld. I'll just Sander, I guess. Well, I've got a very simple goal, or rather, simple to explain, harder to achieve. And it is conquer two systems, raise them fully with populations still on the planets. Now, actually I said it's simple to understand and explain, but now I'm having some doubts, because raise can mean several things. You can raise systems by using the raise option, which is right over here, which does raise a system including, you know, all the population. So even though this is exactly what raising is, I don't think this is what this guy meant, since it would also get rid of the population. So maybe he just meant bombing the system into oblivion but still taking control over it, or alternatively what he could have meant is using the decon droids, but I'm pretty sure what he meant is to just bomb the systems to high hell, which I'll do my best to do. Don't worry, when it comes to bombing you can count on me. Anyway, there is a battle waiting for me to, you know, take a look at it, and it's actually of your corporation. Wow, I should not be recording when I've got this powerful headache, but I can handle it. So I'm kinda happy because my hero is A, a higher leveled hero, B, I'm pretty sure I did give... well, that's not the right button. I did give my hero the ability to be better when fighting other heroes, right? Yes, he does have Fearless Fall. I'm very glad to see that. Now the enemy does have plenty of flag though, which is a problem, since it's gonna be hard to get through their flag defense. And if I do go for something like guillotine, then I'll waste a lot of my missiles, since I'll probably like target 3 of the destroyers and most of the enemy fleet will be just fine. So what I'll do is I'll open it up with spread fire, and as we go into melee and medium range phases, I'll just change it into guillotine, because then missiles will be less effective anyway. But in long range, I think I might be capable of going through the enemy flag defenses. I mean, ships like this Defender, they just have flags, so they'll be fine, I think. And that's a lot of flag, but then again, some ships have less flag, and I want to make sure that I deal some damage to the enemy in the first phase, so that's what I'll do. Targeting, split fire, formation, default formation. As for what kind of cans I'm gonna use, what kind of weapons are the enemy using? They're using medium range missiles. And long-range missiles as well, basically a ton of missiles. That's good to know. In this case, I'm pretty sure the only way for me to keep my ships alive is to use emergency shelters, and I'll use them in all the phases. It costs a lot of dust, but that's why I was stockpiling so much dust. that's one of the reasons, to be entirely honest with you. But this is really important, to be able to just spam emergency shelter and be like, stop, I'm fine, deal with me. Still, we are gonna go into manual battle. And I'm going to drink a little bit of water. I will need to drink a lot of water during this video because, again, headache. And water tends to help with that. Anyway, first targeting will be, as I said, spread fire. As soon as the long range phase starts to resolve, I'm gonna change that into guillotine. So let's just wait for a little bit longer. And come on. There we go. The enemy went for camouflage. Well, it's gonna make things harder for my ships, but it's still gonna be more or less okay. That said, emergency shelters have engaged and they do have a pretty cool animation, so I'm pretty sure I'll be okay. The enemy fighters are launching, so there is that. Let's hide the UI for a second, shall we? There's no need to look at it at this point in time, and I do like the explosions, so it should be pretty cool, all things considered. I do have some kinetic ships, apparently. These are long-range kinetic ships, but still, that's what they are. So emergency shelters are going on everywhere. All of my ships, I think, survived only because of those. They want to keep the guillotine? Oh, wait. I won? Ah! Okay then! Well, emergency shelters saved 3 of my ships. So those ships, even though their tech is speaking destroyed, as you can see, they are obviously alive. They wouldn't be able to contribute in the later stages of the battle, but in the first stages they still did their job. So those are the odd heartbreakers. I actually have mostly kinetics, I just noticed. That's why I was doing so well. Ah! Right, because that's the older fleet. I didn't look at the numbers. I have a few missile ships, but mostly kinetic ships. And the enemy, well, this time they are using deflectors actually. But last time they were having mostly ships like this Defender, which are using only flak, which is pretty stupid, all things considered, apparently. So I think I'll continue on with the emergency shelters. And will I go for another repair systems as well? The enemy is using some kinetics. You know what? Let's not risk it. Double emergency shelters into narrow repair systems, and this should be fine. Is there a need to watch this battle? I mean, it will look fancy. So let's go ahead and have a look at it. I don't see what's the problem with that. Also, the good thing is, I'm trading incredibly well as a result of the emergency shelters, obviously. But this is very important, because when I quit the game last time, I did the metagamey cheesy thing by... which, I mean, I look at the scores, and I noticed that the Offer Corporation, which is who I'm fighting right now, have about 5 to 6 times stronger military than I do. In terms of pure military power, not the number of ships. I actually have a lot of ships compared to other players, because most of my ships are small. At least used to be small until now, so now I'm making bigger ships, actually. Anyway, what else? Oh, wait, I forgot, guillotine, not nosebreaker, guillotine. Whew. That was close. And oh, emergency shelter was countered. That's good to know. And that's... I didn't have time to click, but this time emergency shelter did go through, which was pointless because the enemy was dead anyway. So things did not go according to plan per se, since I was indeed countered, but still I only lost 2 ships compared to the enemy's 16 ships, which I can guarantee you costed way more. So will I be attacked yet again? It doesn't look like it, but I... however, will gladly attack. First things first though, I will want Dust Wielder 2, it's important. Do I want fast reboot? It would be useful for later, not right now. But I am on level 17 and I need to think about the future. Because I can only ever get, including those skill points, 5 extra abilities. So let's think about what I want those abilities to be. I could go into fast reboot and rapid regeneration, which is pretty good and pretty important, and I want this at some point. What else do I want and need? I will want Ground Pounder into Commander-in-Chief 1 and 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's all I will be able to get. So no more activatable abilities if I go for Dust Wielder 2, which I think I might actually not. I have a lot of dust, and these... it would work nicely, but it's not all that important. So instead I will go for that, 2 Commander-in-Chiefs, so there is that done. Then I go for fast reboot and rapid regeneration, so I will have 1 skill point left. So I could either go for fast reboot 2, which I don't think is entirely necessary, but it is an option. Or alternatively I can go for something else. Hardy Constitution might be important in case my hero is ever damaged, because it would take it would take a huge amount of dust to revive him. I'll probably never ever have enough dust to do this efficiently. Beam Surge, Armor Weak Point. Well, Armor Weak Point is pretty decent ability, but I think I can go for something better. Let's have a quick look. Adventure, Does it have something that I could really use? No, nothing that I don't have already. Like I said, Ammo Weak Point is a very powerful ability, but maybe I want to go for something better. Let's have a quick look. More fleet movement is always decent. Ultimate defense is ultimately pointless right now, since I have emergency shelters and illusion cards. I think... What will be my last ability? I could just go for this same old defender or Assylian 2, which would give me more offense, which I'm always happy to have. Because in terms of pure percentage bonuses to my fleet, it's a pretty crappy hero for that. He is mostly useful because of his special abilities, and that's about it. And the ability to steal both dust and science. That's why I want him. So, do I want to have Dust Wither 2 in order to make it easier for me to use things like illusions and emergency shelters, which will cost me a lot. But then again, this hero will pay for himself because of his abilities, so that's not all that important. Or alternatively, I could... Hyperdriven is interesting. Hardy Constitution, well, it would reduce the risk of having this hero by a ton, but then again, he has so much survivability, I don't think this is as important. Dust Warheads, no. I think I'll decide on the last battle card later when it's actually the time to do so. So for the time being, what I am going to go for is... Commander-in-Chief. That's the first thing I should max out in my opinion, because it pays for the fastest and it pays for very, very well. So I'll increase the base experience gain on my entire fleet by quite a lot. And since my ships are going to survive for quite a long time as well, it's gonna be pretty meaningful, since that it does increase your fleet capabilities by a whole ton. So there's that done. The enemy still has one more fleet left, which will not be a problem. You know what, I think when next time I level up, I will reduce the cost of my abilities, since, you know, 85 dust, that is still quite a lot. Then again, maybe not, I will have to think about it. Anyway, I will go for emergency shelters just in case. Well, is the enemy even using missiles? Yeah, I will go for emergency shelters into non-repair systems. And auto battle, and the enemy should be dead, and I also suffer no losses because of emergency shelters. Otherwise, I would have lost a ship actually, so I'm happy that I have done what I did, and Gizar is now safe and no longer under siege. It pretends to be still on strike, but I can fix that. And also, I forgot, I'm no longer Gameslayer. I can have my people happy, which is pretty important. So I can increase my Empire output by a ton into fervent level, and not only through my faction ability, affinity rather, but also through fervency I will have a lot of science output now. Gizar is still on strike for some reason. Why is that? Because they just hate me at the moment. Alright, that's I guess a valid enough reason. Now, what is your population like? First of all over the place would be the proper explanation to that, but secondly, what do I want and need in here? After I'm done with predictive logistics, well, more happiness to make the system productive faster, that would be pretty good, and also it will allow me to increase taxes if necessary. Then I'll probably have enough population to make good use of hydro sequencing, so I'll go for that. And then I'll go to other places from over there. So there's that done. Anything else I need to do? Oh yes, Elliot and all the other systems, they will need to get their, whatchamacallit, redundant infrastructures. Because it's pretty important, let's be entirely honest about it. It's pretty effing important. Do I want to change any of those planets to lava planets? No. Those tundras will also stay as tundras for the time being. They do have replication plans, which I might change, but at the same time I'll keep them as they are in case I need to make an emergency fleet over there. You also give me more science and also psychological insulation. Yep. I want this as well, since now I actually have a lava in there. I'm tempted to terraform this Terran into a lava as well, but maybe not. Maybe at some other point in time. So there's that done. Let's go ahead and kill a probe. Make sure I take no damage as always. Nice and easy. Probe is dead. Actually, it's not. It ran away. The bastards. And I believe I'm done. Now, I should be losing a huge amount of dust. Yes, 300 something dust lost per 10. But those battles I won gave me a ton of dust, so I'm okay with losing the dust for like 10 or 2. It's completely fine in my opinion. Now, what I will need to do is prepare to bomb the enemy ships, because this is actually my quest. So let's have a quick look at the Rivian, because I believe he was the one with the bombs. No, it was Hanako. Rivian just had the missiles and nothing else. So Hanako's dear says, you do have that. I do want to have bunker busters as well. So let's make this a thing. And how do I do that exactly? Well, you know what? I'm just gonna lower your engine and give you some extra bombs. I know that Hanako was supposed to have engines, but this was several parts ago, so I think that now, since I already made a bunch of Hanakos which had engines, I fulfilled the terms that were put upon me those few videos ago, so now I can start making those ships a little bit more useful. So it's still not gonna be super useful, let's be honest, but it is gonna have bombs, and let's pretend that those beams, they are invasion type of beams. So like so. So this will be my new invasion type of ship. Will it have armor? No, it will not actually. It will just have more siege capabilities. And I think I might give it some troops, maybe, even. Nah, I will not give it troops. I intended to give it bombers. But bombers are an inefficient way of doing things, and since this ship will not be in any battles ever, then nah. I'll just take away all the defenses capabilities and give it a bit more siege kick. So now it is just stock full of siege weaponry, and it's pretty beastly as a direct result. Anything else I want to add on for here? I do not think so. I could give it some weapons. You know what, just to prove that it can have weapons, it's gonna have one beam. And this is a singular beam that does all the damage. Let's just pretend that this is the case. So Hanako 5 is gonna be my invasion ship, so there is that done. And I'll start working on this as soon as I can, which is pretty much about now. So how many Hanakos can I have in a single fleet? 8, right? Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there is that done. Now as for those planets, I am tempted to terraform some of those into lavas. Tundra I will not touch, and I'm not too sure because, I kind of like having an ocean planet. It's pretty good, but Terrans are okay, especially for growing food, and later in the game they are also pretty decent for giving you dust. However, I am really tempted to turn it into a lava planet. Now the problem is it would lose quite a bit of its population. I still think it would be more efficient to have it as a lava planet. I have seen a chart somewhere at some point a very long time ago which determined when it's worth to terraform planets and when it's not worth it to terraform planets. But I think terraforming this terran planet will be not the worst idea ever. I'm trying to remember how much population will I lose if I do so. So a medium lava in this system would have 5 pop. So that I will lose 2 population. Alrighty then, but I will also gain extra, oh wow, a ton of industry efficiency as a result. And a lot less of everything else, including science, which is actually useful, but you know what, yeah, let's go ahead and... Oh, I don't have the ability to terraform planets? Oh no, it's a Terran, I cannot just terraform a Terran straight into lava, that's what it is. Because yes, I can terraform planets into lavas, but I cannot downgrade a planet this far to go from Terran into lava. I can go from Tundra into Arctic, as you can see, because I have Arctic terraformation, and from Arctic I would be capable to go into lava, but to go from Terran into lava straight away, that is not a possibility. Sorry, like I said, I do have a headache, so I'll assume that this is my good enough excuse. Alrighty, party ship! Let's go to Giza. Let's party over there. As for you, dear Handbreaker, you will do some scouting. Go over there, see what is in there. That's where the planarians are. Alrighty then, you just go on auto-explore. Alright, apparently the fleet is too damn to realize it can still explore over here, so that's okay, it happens. And oh man! We have a black hole in this galaxy! Right there! See it? That's pretty cool. I never noticed that we actually had a black hole spawn in the background at some point. That's really cool. It wasn't there before, at least I've never noticed it. Alrighty then. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I'm sorry, this black hole completely distracted me, and also the headache. But I think I'm ready to finish my first stand in this video. Wow, that only took forever. Note to self, when you record videos when you have a headache, it takes forever. Anyway, Hamao is now within my area of view fluid, so the enemy's happiness goes down, and it will be easier for me to conquer it and keep it up. And wait, we already had a war going on, didn't we? Strange. We did have a war last video, I have video proof of that. Alright, now we have a double war, I guess, with Ophir Corporation. Whatever. And for some reason, Siafu actually liked me. Why is that? Is it because long-term peaceful status, common enemy? Yeah, I see. They just like me in general because of what I've done. Alright then, Siafu liked me. That's scary because they only lack Death and Destruction and Abyss. So apparently I am Death, Destruction and Abyss. I'm fine with that, that's a pretty cool title to have. Death, Destruction and Abyss. Alright then, party ship, it's gonna party. And I do have to party with party ship inside my main attack fleet, which is gonna be pretty difficult to achieve. Let's have a quick look. Can I install some better soundproofing on my party ship? Not right now, because I don't have enough tonnage for that, which is a problem. Yeah, I can't really do anything of the sort. I need to increase my tonnage to make the ship survive, otherwise it's gonna be pretty difficult. Although when my new fleets come, they'll be pretty good at making it survive because I'll have crossbreeds to soak up the damage. So you go in there as quickly as you can, which I'm not sure how is what is the fastest way to get over there. I think the game will auto-determine that, and it will probably determine that the fastest way to get over there is to use those two wormholes right there. Which, am I fine with? Yes, UKSP will not be able to slow me down. So let's go ahead and walk through over there, and it will be just fine. Yeah, that's how far I made. Alright, that's good enough. Probe is still there, still being annoying, that's fine. Let's go ahead and barrier it up. And this time it died because it didn't want to run away. That's fine by me. UKSP is sending some colonization ships apparently. Alrighty then, that's pretty brave and foolish of you, but I will not judge, I'll just kill you. That's fine by me. So there's that done. Make sure that the crossbreeds take the damage, so defense formation, auto battle, and the enemy will be dead with no damage done to me whatsoever. Pretty easy. Actors will be mine on the next turn, which is also pretty nice. Party ship is ready to party. Now, I'm not yet ready to put it in my invasion fleet, but what I can do is move out with my invasion fleet and then follow it up with the party ship. I promise I will put the party ship inside my proper fleet later. But I need to have a better fleet to do that first. Alright then, so what do we have here? Ugara, guarded by a pretty decent fleet, but I can also now see all that the Office Corporation can see. So, I can see that they have a few pretty decent ships over at Sink. They are over weaker than the ships on Ugara, so I'm not too, concerned. Still, the ships on Ugara by themselves are scary as it is. But I will still attack them, I think. So, more ships over there, but they're very far away, so that's not a problem. More ships coming to invade the Pilgrims, and some more ships over here, and they have a lot of invasion power, nothing other than that though. I can see unknown fleet over there, because apparently Office Corporation does have system control over here, and this does look like a Chantry ship. So it's good to know that the Chantry are there, and so far I don't know how strong the Chantry ships are. They don't look to be too powerful, and Chantry do have a lot of penalties for ships. So let's have a quick look at what else Office Corporation has. Well, unless they're hiding a huge army in the docks, I'm not too concerned, but they probably are hiding a huge army somewhere in some of their dry docks. Let's be honest. Alright then, let's see how well I fare against this army. Apparently I'm supposed to be absolutely destroyed. Let's see if that is really the case. So let's open it up with emergency shelter. I do hope it will work, because if it doesn't, I'm in a lot of trouble. Let's just put it this way. So open it up with spread fire, and then like last time I'm going to change it up into guillotine, and everything will be beautiful. Also after this battle I'll pause the recording for a while, because I will need to put my food in the oven so that it is ready for when I'm done with recording, so I can eat it right away like the best that I am. Anyway, come on, are you gonna counter me or not? Are you gonna counter me or not? Will they? Oh, for crying out loud, they did. Oh, that's pretty bad. Now, I will hope that they will not counter me again, but if they do counter me twice, then I think I just lost a hero, and this will cost a lot to get him back. Now, the enemy ships will also hopefully suffer major damage, but if they don't, then I'll be in some pretty bad spot. Let me drink a little bit of water to calm my nerves. That was good. And they counter me again! Alrighty then. Illusion. Looks like the enemy is bent on doing the same battle card over and over again. So Illusion will not be countered by adaptive strategy, so maybe that's at the very least something, but it's scary because the enemy does not suffer reduced defense because they are countering me, so they can just wreck my face. I'll go for Nosebreaker now. Yeah, I'll go for Nosebreaker to try and make sure that I destroy at least one more ship, but overall this battle went horribly, and melee phase this time around my illusion card at least worked, so my ships will take less damage and I might actually be able to save my hero, but yeah, this is the reason why I didn't put in the party ship in here just yet. It is not ready to assist with the battle. And by assisting with the battle, I mean party next to the battle, because the wildest party is right on the front line, right? That's what people say. No, that's not what people say. Anyway, my fleet did survive via the use of my last-ditch effort illusion. This was pretty close. I do hope I'll be able to unassign my hero now before I am attacked, because if I'm not, then I'll lose my hero and this will be pretty bad. Change. Unassign, bam! Alright, hero saved. Good. So this fleet is dead. That's a shame, because those ships actually had a fairly high level, but hey, things happen. So out of my attack fleets, which are more powerful? This has 2000 something attack power, this has less. It has 2 Tau Kakas, which are pretty bad, all things considered. Admiral Adama and Crossbeats, alright. Meanwhile, you have old class Hanakos. So they have beams, which the enemy is not very effective to fight against. And there's Admiral Adama as well as Crossbeats. I have also been thinking that I'm not sure if I'm using the right chassis for the Admiral Adama. Maybe it would be better to use the support chassis for the Admiral Adama instead. So I think I made a mistake there. I'll need to retrofit him at some point. Anyway, let's assign my hero to right over here. Ascend to fleet, bam. So now he will be over there. It will be nice. Party ship, hide for the time. No, it's a party ship. It can never hide. It can never stop the party. Let's go to Nakos for the time being. Let's party over there. See how much fun they can have. In the meantime, Mary is gonna stop working on Hanakos. Because right now what I need more than invasion ships is ships that can survive. So that's pretty important. But, like I said, be right back, food first. Alright, yeah, I have returned and my food is being prepared. And also, while off camera, I did some experiments. And I have proven that indeed it is better to use with the same kind of, not equipment, but... yeah, equipment, I guess. It is more efficient to run this Giga class ship instead of this Peta class ship. I'm not sure what was going through my mind when I designed it otherwise, because in all honesty, this ship has barely any defenses, and it's not even supposed to have those per se. And it's those support modules that take out the majority of the tonnage. Now, there is a downside, and it is the fact that the Giga ship cannot have 3 fighters, it can only have 2 fighters at the maximum. So what I did instead is I designed a new Adama, Adama Plus, which is way less efficient than either of those ships, because on Dreadnoughts, our module is much more expensive tonnage-wise. As you can see, that's 80 tonnage as opposed to 42 tonnage on the Giga class. Way more expensive, but of course it also gives you way more health, so it is understandable. However, what is also more important is the fact that now Adama can actually carry 4 fighters, which I want to be the case, because ideally I want to have a single Adama in every fleet, and I do not want to have any other ships in my fleet carrying any fighters or bombers, with the exception of one capital ship. In this case it will be Adama, so it's not only command, control and communications ship, but it is also my carrier ship per se, which will in fact be pretty important, and it would be a replacement of point defense on my other ships. You could argue that point defense is pretty cheap and whatnot, but you know, I just like the thought of having a carrier. It's pretty cool in my opinion. Also Battlestar Galactica and stuff, so yeah. So anyway, with that said, Mary is now gonna make me a single Adama Plus, 3 crossbreeds to tank the damage as always. So that's how much? That's 4 command points, and that's an additional 6, so that's 10 command points lost. And now I'm gonna make a bunch of Rivians, I think, to follow it up. Are Rivians as powerful as they possibly could be? Let's have a quick check. Rivian, are you a good guy? Are you powerful? Well, you're pretty powerful the way I see the amount of damage you deal. You're pretty bad, all things considered as well, because you're horribly overkill, but yep, that's good enough, so Rivians are being prepared. So there is that done, those ships are guarding, everything else is just jelly. Dual Mind is working on dust again, and I'm only losing a little bit now. And I'm not gonna increase my taxes. Actually, even if I could, I'm not sure if I would. So, Actress is gonna become mine, which is pretty great, all things considered. A lot of tech has been finished, Advanced Scholastics is over, so now I should never have problems with dust ever again, hopefully. That's a battle I'm about to lose, oh well. Planarians want open borders in return for 2 of their antimatter. How much antimatter do I have? I have 1, so I will not have abundance, which... You know, it would be nice to have abundance of antimatter. Also, why do they want open borders? Do they want to give them open borders? The worst thing they could do is go for my territory, but, you know, Honestly, right now I don't see the point of having open borders. I could, in theory, try to nick some technologies out of them, but right now, no. I don't think open borders is necessary. I have my scout inside their borders. They don't have any scouts inside my borders, so I could care less about what they think about this, however. So there's that done with the research. Production has begun. Adama Plus is in fact already finished, which is pretty important. And Planaris are besieging Gano. You know what? You can have it. I'm okay with that. As long as you leave RS planets to me. Which could be a problem if they start besieging Hamau, but I don't think they will, you know, honestly. Alright, one more fleet over here that I need to dispatch, so it should be pretty easy, all things considered. Let's go ahead and murder it, especially since the enemy is actually using a hero, which will be their downfall. I will use illusion this time around because my fleet is more than capable of surviving a single volley. There's no need to use emergency shelters, and illusions are a little bit harder to counter. As you can see, I could only counter with the use of short circuit, which is a very powerful card, mind you, and it is free, but, you know, I'm not sure if I need to use illusion in all honesty though. I think it would be a good testament to how strong this fleet or how weak it is if I don't use illusion. Instead, I'm gonna go for either barrier or camouflage. Let's go for barrier. I don't think the enemy can deal that much damage to me at all. So let's open it up with barrier and nano-repair system it twice. But I will go into manual just to see how well this fleet does. Because I'm kinda curious and I want to see more destruction, explosions and all this good stuff. So let's have a quick look at it. Now, it is becoming blatantly obvious that I will not be capable of fulfilling the quest that was put upon me for this video. That is conquering 2 systems and raising them. Unless we count UK SPS systems, but I'm pretty sure the guy meant Uroborg's consortium system. In which case, I'll just continue with his quest on the next video. This time I cannot make this part any longer than it is about to be, because I'm gonna end it soon. Because, like I said, headache, that's one thing, and the second thing is my food, which is getting ready. So, I'm sorry, I promise to finish your task in my next part, which should be pretty fun, all things considered. Also, those beams of mine, they look effing beautiful. I do like those pinkish, purplish lasers, they are pretty cool. Also, yeah, the enemy didn't make it far. Have I lost any HP? I'm not sure if I did. Also, game, you know that this guy is dead, right? You can't just end this battle screen. You don't have to show off how cool your fighters are. I mean, I guess we can take a better look at them. So that's left, right, and up and down keys, so... yeah, look at my fighters. My fighters are amazing. So yeah, they're just pretending to be cool while the enemy is blowing away somewhere in space. Okay, the enemy is dead! Like, I'm not sure if you noticed, but there's nothing dramatic going on whatsoever. Why you... Wait, what? Okay, this ship is apparently... What's up with this glass ship? It just doesn't want to die. It's dead, but it's still there. It's a ghost ship. No! Horrible tales have spoken of the terrible, terrible ghost ship which is going to appear and will be dead but beyond the realm of the living, and such it will forever haunt us in our dreams of... I have no idea what I'm even saying. Look, my head is pretty messed up, and also I can hear my beeper for the food stuff, which so I need to take care of, go and take care of it at some point. Right now I don't need to go there right away, it's gonna take care of itself quite nicely, but what do I want? Well, let's start working fast tribute. It's gonna be pretty important later down the line, so that's that. My ships are also gonna add experience faster as a result of my hero being awesome, which again I'm pretty happy about. I don't think I need to guard Arcturus. I think my Planarian friends will do that for me. Let's control this system, and on the next turn I'll start besieging it, I guess. Speaking of besieging, let's start moving in there with my siege ships right away. Arcturus, how good are you? I don't care about that. Improvements wise, they have all the important stuff. I'm glad to see this. I'll keep the defense area thingies because it's important. It is one of the homeworlds, so I need to keep it secure. A temporal finance everywhere? Well, I don't mind that. Let's work on predictive logistics and go to other places from there, I guess. Now, as for my other systems, now I can actually make them give me a decent amount of dust, by which I mean a humongous amount of dust, which I am really, really happy about. So let's make sure that this is the case. Like so, bam, bam, and bam. And also in my fleet construction system, you know, this system can wait. I need to create a fleet first, and then I'll worry about other things. I have plenty of dust. I could speed the construction of some things, but I don't think this is my top priority right now. Also, it's gonna be pretty hard to remain my empire at fervent approval value, so I'm just gonna go into I can go lower the approval of those systems into happy, it will be still fine. I'm not sacrificing a huge amount of science doing so either. Yeah, I have 1331 science per 10, that's good enough for me for now, until I increase the happiness on some of my other newly conquered systems, so this will be good. So there is that done. This ship is gonna continue scanning around the Planarian area. And I have found a homeworld. How good is it? It's not that good, but it's not that bad either. It could be worse. That's what I'm getting at. So let's keep exploring like so. I didn't need to open borders. You kidding me? I go where I want. Alright, you just stay there. You also stay there. So there's that done. And by the way, I need to lose. That's not gonna be so pleasant, but I guess I'll have to do it nevertheless. So I cannot escape, unfortunately, because the enemies are bastards. Instead, let's try to deal as much damage as I can. Shot sick at the bastards. And then double out of the strategy. And default formation and spread fire? Yeah, let's see how well I do. Maybe I'll destroy like 2 ships. Not even 2 ships. Whoa, wow, I don't want. I guess they didn't put in their most well-defended ships on the front, so I could only target those 4 well-defended ships with my 4 ships. Annoying, understandable. Giza will probably be attacked on the next 10. I will deal with that. I'll send in some more ships soon enough. I mean, I already have ships going in there, so it's gonna be completely fine. Anyway, it was PANCZASU, also known as the mighty MiG spammer with horrible headache and tummy that requires some extra fuel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you online.